Hey all, and welcome back to Mudstomp Solves. For today's video, as you can see, we're looking at a puzzle of a bird effectively. A little bit of a picture on the right side there. I'm having to record the audio for this video mostly later on. Unfortunately, at the time that I was doing it, had a lot of noise in the background and so forth, so I ended up actually doing a lot of time-lapse recordings and so forth. And for the life of me, I can't find a video where I recorded showing the box in the first place. Not that there was much to see or anything. This puzzle's my first round puzzle. I think it's about 76 centimeters across or so. Um, so I guess that'd be about a bit over 25 inches or so. And yeah, essentially, I decided to do this one just for. You might have seen 2 videos back. I built a bigger puzzle board specifically for this and a couple other puzzles. So the one I did the cat, 299 cats and one dog puzzle on, that's the same board. And yeah, so I wanted to get into this one. And as you can see, and you'll see in the next few clips, I've mostly built this chunk by chunk and then put the chunks together and finished it. Yeah, I was kind of eager to do this one, sorry, because it has a lot of vibrant colors and different colors. And once, as always, you'll probably hear me say it in almost every video I do of puzzles I enjoy, varied textures, the different lines and bubbles and things. I will say probably one of the biggest issues I had with this was that finding some specific pieces was a bit difficult. But anyway, so yeah, uh, enough blabbing from me for the moment. Let's get into seeing how this puzzle turns out, and I'll tell you more towards the end.
Right, well, after doing quite a bit of recording, my brain got fried, and so I ended up having to take a break, and then I tried to do some off camera just to sort of get a little bit of this sort of green area started, just because my brain was fried that night. I wasn't getting anywhere. And before I knew it, I'd done quite a lot. So let's have a look, shall we? So that's the bottom of the bird's neck and the back. And I will say this was quite exciting for me to discover that it's a round center, which to me feel stupid about it now when I think about it, that it's a round puzzle. It's most likely going to have a round center, but that was really exciting to sort of see the pattern develop there. So that was cool. And then I sort of worked on one wing, and then I sort of worked on the other wing. So they're sort of ready to somewhat connect and then fill pieces. So I've already got the tail done as well, and I worked on the blue feathers a bit last. Got all of that done. So now I've got that, and I've got all the flower bits. There's the red of the bird and the pink. I can't think what they're called. And yeah, all the flowery bits and stuff are done. So yeah, these are kind of all the pieces I had left over from those trays. And then now I've only got the edge piece tray, pretty much. And then I've got, this is my leftovers tray. So basically dark bits to patch. It's the green sort of, what do you call it? Leaves, gum leaves or something. And then the little green stemmy leaves that are everywhere, such as there. So yes, and I've still got a little bit of blue left. Yeah, so I've got like some of this blue section left, sort of to finish things off there. So that's sort of more of the light blue just there and there on each side. So yeah, on the whole of it, I've kind of got like, I don't know, maybe 70% of the puzzle done. I've just got to connect it all together and fill the holes. So I'm probably going to connect it all up and then try and do the head of the bird and fill any sort of holes in, then do the blue bits on the wings, and then it'll be down to doing the leaves, the 2 green leaf sets, and then finish the border. And this will probably be the first puzzle that I've basically finished without doing the border and then just do the border last. So yeah, it's looking quite interesting. So bear with me. Let me get it sort of spaced out on the board better so that it's actually, well, you know, so it looks like the picture, not just a whole bunch of bits sitting everywhere. So yeah, give me a minute and let's see how we go.
As you can see, most of the bigger chunks went together pretty easily. We kind of get to the point here where, honestly, I think I was really struggling through this section of the puzzle, and I don't know how to describe it in the sense of like what caused it. You would look at these lower aqua light blue sections and think they're relatively the same as the other blue sections. But for some reason, I had a lot of trouble lining these up and figuring where they went together. And the only thing I can think of is because they were so small and they had so much um, black between them, a lot of the pieces tend to just have the blue in the middle of a black piece. Whereas with the bigger blue sections, you would often have multiple bits showing, multiple of the lines, two parts of the line, something like that. And so it was a lot easier to place those ones because you could, I mean, for starters, I built the bottom and the top with it to a large degree. Um, but then with that lower section of blue, it was sort of like not as much detail there to work off in that way. And again, with the bigger blue bits, you have the dots at the top, that kind of thing. So yeah, it ended up being a lot more straightforward to do the bigger ones initially than to do those ones in the end. And I probably spent, out of all the chunks of the puzzle, that bottom blue aqua bit is probably the part where I spent the most amount of time in and ahhing over pieces and checking pieces over and over again. Uh, but yeah, anyway, that leads us on to where we are now, which is the end stretch. As you'll see in these couple of clips, I basically just worked my way around the outside building the leaf sections and so forth. As I watched this, it's funny, I kind of remember that I couldn't remember what the pink things were called earlier in the video, and they're gum nuts basically, which for an Australian you would think would be relatively straightforward. And it's a very Australian type picture with the gum leaves, the types of flowers, so on and so forth, the bird even, that kind of thing. So yeah, anyway, the fact that I forgot that was just weird, but honestly, at this point, I really did actually enjoy the puzzle quite heavily. The leaves themselves were pretty easy and straightforward to do for the most part and match pieces. The edge was a little bit harder, and it's kind of funny because largely speaking, the pieces just make the edge look like it's a straight edge if you just look at one piece, but clearly they're not. They're very curved and so forth. So yeah, it's sort of I don't know. It was interesting nonetheless, but yeah. Anyway, let me chuck some more music on just for the last little bit, and then I'll talk about the puzzle once we're done. Alrighty, so going again, believe it or not, this is the second time I'm recording this audio because it seems that I didn't hit record the first time, which is really annoying when I'm sure you can all understand, you've got something very poignant to say and you've missed it. Now you've got to try and remember everything you were going to say. But anyway, we're going to persevere. So, as you can see, the puzzle's finished. It has a lot of lovely sections to it. Honestly speaking, I really enjoyed this puzzle for the colours and just being able to in big chunks and put them together and then fill the holes. Overall, I probably spent about an hour or two doing those last bits. Uh, but yeah, for the most part, most of it was really quite exciting to do, and just to get finished is just, yeah, a pure joy. Now, in a moment, I'm just going to have on the screen on the right side here is a wooden puzzle that I've been working on shortly after doing this one. I'm going to show you that just while I talk about it, just for something visual. So I hope you enjoy that while I'm doing that. But yeah, the completed puzzle, you can see it there on the left-hand side. Um, it's Yeah, overall, I got to say I enjoyed doing the puzzle. This is on my new board, the bigger board that I talked about. I just remembered I said at the start of the video it was my first round puzzle. It's my second round puzzle technically. The first one was the 299 cats. This is probably the first one that's sort of good and proper on its own without a border, because the cat one had a border on it. But anyway, overall, I'd say this is a really nice sized puzzle. As I said, I think it was around 76 centimeters wide or something like that. I really enjoyed it. The pieces were a good size. They were a nice thickness. Um, Colors were really vibrant, so it was really easy to sort out into different pieces, colors and textures. Sorry. Then building each section fairly straightforward, that kind of thing. So overall, just a really nice puzzle to do in that way. The slight glare you can see in this picture, I don't think it showed up too much in the other video chunks or anything like that. But overall, when doing the puzzle itself, I didn't really notice that much at all. It didn't hinder me or anything. I think this glare is mostly because I'm like right over the top trying to take this picture for this one. So yeah, for the most part, not a real concern with the glare, but just again, really enjoyed the vibrant colors and the different colors and textures and so forth. Which leads me on to my big bugbear with this puzzle, unfortunately. I was really excited after having completed this one. I was considering it, gluing it, hanging it, putting it somewhere. Either way, I wanted to put it away in chunks so I could rebuild it quickly and easily if I did get to doing that in the following days to weeks. And unfortunately, at the end of it, it wasn't possible. The pieces do not hold together very strongly with this, to the point where you probably saw in a couple of the clips when I moved the chunk around, I had to rebuild it on the spot. Basically, I tried picking this up in sections, I tried moving it. It just, as soon as you put enough pressure on a couple of pieces, all the pieces detach from each other. So that's like the big bugbear in this puzzle for me. If you don't care about, picking it up, moving it, gluing it, whatever, then this puzzle is no problem. It's a lovely puzzle to do in that regard, or aside from that regard. So yeah, overall, really, really enjoyed this puzzle. Really, really enjoyed sort of what it had to offer. And I will say, you'll see in my coming videos that I've got a lot of things that I'm working on in different ways, and I'm really excited to sort of try different types of puzzles and get into bigger and bigger puzzles. You'll see an upcoming 1,000 piece, 1,500, 2,000 piece. I'm working towards 3,000 piece puzzles, that kind of thing. As far as like puzzles staying together, picking them up, that's my new hobby. You'll find out again in the videos coming up, unless you check out my TikTok channel and see the videos I've posted there already, and some of the shorts on here, I should say, on YouTube. But anyway, so yeah, it's sort of this is a puzzle that's sort of been a beginning for me. It's giving me inspiration, and I'm loving colors and I'm loving textures, and I want to explore it more. So that's what's going to come in the future. That's where I'm going to aim. I'm going to aim to do bigger and bigger puzzles and hopefully have more quality puzzles. I've done obviously this wooden puzzle just here. That's my fifth or sixth one I finished in this early part of this year, and I would like to get more wooden puzzles. I've had a look online. I'm probably not going to be able to get them anytime soon, but there's some really big ones out there that I want to get. I love doing these wooden puzzles. I think they're fantastic and so much fun to do, and they're so easy to do. Not easy as in like super super easy, but just like straightforward, and yeah, just a lot of fun. So anyway, that's the big aim of what I want to get done, and yeah, I think that's kind of it for this video. So anyway, if you're still with me, thank you very much for watching. I really hope you're enjoying it. I would love to have some comments. What are you liking about my videos? What do you not like? What would you like to see? Do you have some suggestions for different puzzles in the future, or where I go with this channel? I've kind of, it's named Mud Stomp Solves because I want to mainly do these kinds of puzzles, but on the other side of things, I am doing some brick building type related things, not necessarily Lego. I'm going to hopefully do some paper pen based puzzles, maybe, I don't know, but those are obviously very different sort of fields. The brick building I think fits in this a little bit, but the paper-based puzzles not so much. So yeah, if that's something that you're not going to be interested in, I'd love to hear from you. If you think like, if I'm doing great with these puzzle ones, do I just stick to it? I do want to build the channel more, and I'm trying to work towards having a video a week out. So yeah, and if you're one of my subscribers that's watching, thank you very much for subscribing. But at the time of releasing this video, I think I'm up to about 55 subscribers. So um, yeah, it's been really exciting seeing a few people start to follow me. So yeah, if you're still here, please comment, leave a like, hit the bell for notifications, or do any of the other stuff to encourage me and keep me going. And hopefully we'll see you in the next video. All right, Mud Stomp out.